We are joined now by Victor Stabin and Antonio Carreño. Let's start with Victor. Thank you for being here and welcome to Nuestra Valley.
Thank you as well.
And on looking at your wonderful work, and it's all displayed at the Arlington Art Museum, where do you get your inspiration for doodles? I mean, that's something we all do, but not as beautiful as you do.
I can't stop doodling. I don't know why. But the inspiration for the book was from reading many, many ABC books to my daughter when she was 3 years old. And the inspiration for the characters in the book came from loving the dictionary. Basically, the dictionary is my friend. And when I wanted to come up with new ideas, I was looking for alliterations that with words I had never heard before. Mm-hmm. So I went through the dictionary, and the odder the sounding of the odder the word, the more foreign it was to me, the more interesting it was. Mm-hmm. And so I wound up coming up with these different inventions that came out of all these words I had never known before. Now I know. And everybody looks at it and says, where did you come up with this stuff? But basically, just from reading the dictionary.
And just keep doodling.
You do little sketches and then you develop them. And at one point I got to the letter D and there was a word Daedal. And Daedal is derivative of Daedalus, who was the architect and inventor of the wings that his son Icarus flew to the sun and towards the sun and melted. And I guess he was a Greek myth architect and designer, and Daedalus means done artistically. And then I saw the word doodle is one of the only words in the book I know. So I just thought Daedal Doodle was like, I couldn't beat it. Uh-huh. So that's where the title of the book came from.
So everything started with your own relationship with your daughter.
I'm a painter, and I am consumed with my thoughts consume me with what will my next painting be? What metaphors will I come up with that I'm going to paint? And I had no idea that I was going to be doing this ABC book, but at the same time, I was reading to my daughter. I had just bought a 15,000 square foot building in Jim Thorpe, and we were renovating it, and the fury that goes around taking care of all the aspects of something that big was so distracting I couldn't paint. So I could draw while I can draw while I'm standing on my head drinking a glass of water. And I started to just pen this book because it was easy for me to do, but then it became infectious.
Well, this book has some animals that are kind of a mix.
Well, they're all mutants.
Mutants, yeah. Okay. I was...
or hybrids. Why be so negative? Okay. They're hybrids.
I had the fortune to be at the museum for the previous preview of the summer programs that are based in your work. And one thing that I liked is that the children were doing thinking outside the box. I think that was the beginning of teaching them how to come up with different things, different creatures, just thinking outside the box.
What happened was the Allentown Art Museum found me because I have a restaurant in my building and I have a gallery in my building. It's in Jim Thorpe. They asked me to teach a class in Panther Valley, which is part of this area. It's it's about 30 miles from here. And I got 26 students. And so I said, let's make a book. And I said, this is what I did to make the book. And I found that kids from the age of 8 to 16 are making, when I gave them the same assignment I gave myself, came up with inventions or characters that were as creative as mine. They didn't draw as well as I did because I've been drawing 40 years longer than they have. But they came up with ideas that were spectacular, and it was just like Legos. These ideas snapped together just by reading the dictionary. So.
Wow.